Roll camera.
Rolling.
Okay, and action.
By golly. I really like that scene. That was crazy. So narrative slash perspective. This scene is a complex of the entire film and plays a big part in influencing how viewers feel about the film, in my perspective. So much so that before shooting, the ending was changed many times, and after filming, they had to add another scene after this one because many people didn't seem to like that it ended right there, like right after the helicopter and stuff. So they added another scene. This seems to largely be from the perspective of Detective Somerset, but with all the change in camera angles, you feel like you're an actual person there as everything unfolds. Unfortunately, this scene seems to be the end of Detective Mills and his career, although no matter what he had done, his life would have never been the same. This scene is a defining moment for Somerset and Mills that will never be forgotten, and is the end of the serial killer who was able to have two great detectives wrapped around his finger from the start of the movie. So, yeah, it was insane how John Doe, he's not known at all in the beginning of this film, not even in the credits, and you come off with a fat man, and then they slowly roll into like they find out that it's the different sins. So he previously killed before this scene 5 other people, and as he was talking before, he was talking about how he was envious of Mills and his perfect life, and how if he went through with killing him, if Mills went through with killing Doe, that he would become Wrath, and his legacy, Doe's legacy would be complete, and he would go down in books as the 7 Deadly Sins killer. So I thought that was really cool how the whole thing was set up in this perspective. I really like the whole idea of the 7 Deadly Sins and how they're played into different films and shows and stuff like that. Cinema. The scene is full of a variety of shots and angles that help to show all the key details and symbolize many important things about the characters. The many close-ups help to feel what Mills is feeling and Doe, and brings us into the mind of Doe, whereas long angles clearly show us who has the power. The fast-paced motion makes you feel uneasy and confused, just like Mills is feeling. And the use of depth of field and positioning are great ways the DP chose to represent the characters and the moments taking place. I wish I could have put a few stills next time of there's that good shot of Doe when he's down and you see the sun behind him, he's carrying out this biblical, not journey, I don't know what you call it, but he has this biblical task he's trying to complete, because 7 Deadly Sins is a Christian thing. So you see him on his knees with the sun in the background. It's kind of like a halo, which is just kind of ironic because he's like the devil to him. Yeah, and then you have all these fast tracking shots, like when Detective Somerset was running into them, and just a lot. They do a good job of making you feel uneasy, especially with the music. I don't know if I talked about that. No. Performance and dialogue. Although Brad Pitt's performance is controversial to some extent, it overall doesn't take away much from the scene, as I initially thought. To some extent, it's laughable, but on the other hand, it feels kind of right in a way. If you put yourself in his shoes, you would understand that you are in a situation where your life is practically over, and the man who has done this to you is 5 feet away, and you have the power to make him feel what you are with the push of a button or pull of a trigger. You'd want to do the right thing, but everything is telling you not to do it. That is what I think Pitt was going for, and in the end, I think he succeeded. The second time around watching it, Freeman's performance was very good and did a great job of capturing someone who wants to move on in life, but has one last mission that is scarring and practically ruins the life of his partner. Lastly, Spacey's performance was by far the best and wholeheartedly captured exactly what you might imagine a serial killer to be like. It was creepy, surprising, and downright evil. Although Spacey wasn't physically in much of the movie, he was able to dominate the last 30 minutes of the movie with his acting, especially with his performance in this scene. The dialogue used for Spacey was clever in the fact that he was able to toy with Mill so much while keeping a straight face and hitting all the key points that would destroy any man or woman. I'm not sure if he's sexist. Another thing with Mill was I did some research on like for the first when he's first opening the box, they did a few takes of him like his surprise, but in the end they used the first take, which is what you saw, because they used his gut instinct acting to do that. Oh man, I'm over. Questions?
I have a
Questions?
question.
Yeah.
Besides the seven deadly sins in general, were there any other biblical allusions in the movie that alluded to it being more of a Christian thing?
I didn't specifically look for that. I was hooked on the whole Seven Deadly Sins thing. Seven Deadly Sins.
They
thing.
do a whole thing if you watch the film with Dante's Inferno, which is not really Christian, but it's based on John Milton, based on Christian
What
mythology.
he said. I knew.
It's a really great film to watch. I think the scene before it, when they're in the car on the way there, the performance is incredible.
It's amazing.
I think your analysis is really biblical and sorry, really poetic, I should say, not biblical, but very well done. I really like that. Thank you. Question? Comment? Giovanni, is that your hand up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I forgot. You can just go.
Bye.
Sorry.
Bye.
All right, round of applause for Jose. Thank you very much. If you remember, don't forget to ask him, and let's cut. I just like.